Game ain't over. The sun is shining. And it ain't over.
You wanted the best, you got the best. From my home studio on Long Island, New York, welcome to Ian Scotto Rocks. I am your host, Ian Scotto. And today we're going to be talking about a post from legendary guitarist, legend of Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page, and a post that he made on Instagram. It's a longer post, but it's a very thought-provoking discussion on AI and the ethics around AI as coming from his perspective as a musician of all these years and what this means for the future. So let's get right into it. So this is a longer post that he made, but I think it'd be worth getting into all of it, and that's what we're going to do right here. And it starts with this part right here. So I'm going to read it all for you. The choice is ours. Will we fight for the irreplaceable magic of human artistry? In the disciplined studios of the early 1960s London, I honed my craft as a session musician, lending my guitar to a myriad of artists across genres. Those countless hours, often three-hour sessions a day, were more than just work. They were a crucible of creativity, collaboration, and ceaseless inspiration. I was required to create and conjure riffs and lyrical figures immediately without slowing down the momentum of the work being recorded with the other musicians and the artist. This journey from the anonymity of session work to the global stages with Led Zeppelin was not a path paved by algorithms or datasets. It was a voyage marked by spontaneous improvisation and the unquantifiable spark of human ingenuity. The alchemy that transformed a unique riff into an anthem was etched into the collective soul of the band, a synergy that no machine can emulate. Today, as artificial intelligence seeks to mimic and monetize creativity, we stand at a crossroads. AI-generated art and music synthesized from existing human works lack the visceral essence that comes from lived experience. They are but hollow echoes devoid of the struggles, triumphs, and the soul that define true artistry. Moreover, the ethical implications are profound. When AI scrapes the vast tapestry of human creativity to generate content, it often does so without consent, attribution, or compensation. This is not innovation, it's exploitation. If during my session days someone had taken my riffs without acknowledgement or payment, it would have been deemed theft. The same standard must apply to AI. We must champion policies that protect artists, ensuring that their work isn't siphoned off into the void of machine learning without due regard. Let us celebrate and preserve the human touch in art, the imperfections, the emotions, the stories behind every note and cadence. In defending the sanctity of human creativity against the encroachment of AI, we safeguard not just the rights of artists, but the very soul of our cultural heritage. Yet today, the UK government is proposing changes that would strip creators of this protection. Under the Data Use and Access Bill, AI companies would be allowed to take works past and future and use them as training data without consent or payment. These models digest vast amounts of human-created content and then generate imitators, bypassing the rights of the original creators. The government's proposed opt-out system, the idea that artists will always be in a position to preemptively reserve their rights, is a sham. It is technically impossible for artists to opt out. The government's consultation ends today, but we should be clear, this is not regulation. It is a free pass for AI to exploit creativity without consequence. We must push for legislation that ensures AI cannot monetize human creativity without explicit consent and fair compensation. The government's preferred option in its current constellation does not do that. Music is not a product of data. It is an evocation, a defiance of logic, a collision of time and place and soul. If we allow AI to co-opt the heart of human creativity, we are not ushering in a bold new era, we are signing the death warrant of originality itself. The choice is ours. Will we let the machines take the stage, or will we fight for the irreplaceable magic of human artistry? Jimmy Page. So I have to say I echo a ton of what he says here. I am a huge critic of AI, and sometimes I feel like the last man standing who has not used AI. I do believe in human ingenuity and all of that. You know, how many times have you guys watching this video right now gone on YouTube, and what you end up watching is just a creation of AI? You know, AI voice and AI video editing, reading some article on Wikipedia or scouring the internet for data that they find on these bands, and that's how they do their research. Like, I spend hours when I do the deep dives on really looking into stuff and giving my take on things. And I look at it the same way for all art, whether you're an actual artist who's painting a picture or if you're a musician. I do really worry about this idea of VR and AI replacing everything. I recently made a video that'll probably go up after this about bands really overusing tracks live, and I think overusing some of the technology we have when you don't see certain musicians on stage anymore and they're on a track. I mean, the ultimate evolution of that would just be, why go to a concert? I could put on a VR headset and I could get the same experience as I would get going and having a real life experience with friends and strangers and connecting and bonding over this music that we love. I have no interest in hearing AI generated songs. It lacks any heart, any emotion. And that's why I get into music. That's why I think all of us do. We connect with human emotion. And when you take the humanity out of that equation, we're just going to wind up with this AI generated slop, and people are going to say, hey, this is good enough. Make me a song about so on and so forth. And then the other concern that he voices, which is completely true, is the debate around intellectual property. Yeah, if you create a song, that's your intellectual property. And now you're going to be able to say, hey, have Jimmy Page play a Santana song. I'm just thinking of things off the top of my head. But yeah, and then put it up on YouTube and it could get all these views, and Jimmy Page will receive no compensation for that. So yeah, this does open up a huge debate about intellectual property. The thing about technology is undefeated. Once it's out there, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. You can't uninvent things. And this really goes to just what we as humans and we as consumers are going to accept. I always say to people, and I put my money where my mouth is, go out there and buy physical product, all right? If you like music, buy physical product. For one, a lot of this stuff gets taken off Spotify or whatever streaming platform you're using, and if the artist doesn't want to put it out there anymore, you can no longer listen to these songs that you love. But also, we know artists get paid fractions of a penny for each stream. And if you really love these artists and you want to go support them and see them continue to make great art, they deserve to get paid for it. So buy their album, whether it's vinyl or CD. Go out to concerts. Don't accept what the future is proposing to us, which is exactly what Jimmy Page is talking about, because I do think there's going to be a huge constituency of music fans, right? And I put that in air fingers quotes, because I don't think you're a music fan if you're unwilling to support the artists that you like, who are just going to put on a VR headset and never go to a concert again. And for any of you who think that sounds far-fetched, look at all the stuff going on right now in a post-COVID world. How so many people have basically tapped out of going out and experiencing great moments with friends and family to just stay at home and watch Netflix and whatever AI-generated content they want. And personally, I think it's fucking crap. And that's exactly how Jimmy Page seems to feel. And I completely echo everything that he's saying. And for any of these cynical people out there who are going to say, oh, well, Jimmy Page is a multimillionaire. He's made his money. Who cares? I think he's fighting for the rights of future artists, for the starving artist of today who's not going to get the opportunities that he has. We're already in a world where it is so tough for bands to tour who are on the mid-level and, of course, the the lower tier bands, the Metallicas and all that, of course, they could afford to tour and sell out stadiums. Those are the anomalies. I'm talking about the smaller bands who are in a van and just trying to make something happen for themselves. So he's standing up for the rights of those artists. And if people don't go out there and support art and stand up to this, you're going to have no new art. And that would be a real shame. And with that, I will say, actually, if you support the channel, it really would mean a lot if you subscribe, and it would mean an extreme amount if you support the great merchandise that we're putting out there, which goes to keeping this channel alive. We have limited edition t-shirts and mugs like the one you see right here. And I'd greatly appreciate it. You could send a super thanks below, which really helps the channel, and we'll highlight your comment in the comments field. But whatever, leave your comments, like the video, and check out this video right here if you want to binge watch the other great content on Ian Scotto Rocks. If you're new to the channel, which many of you are, we do deep dives, we do rock news, and we do rock commentary like this, and I hope you'll support us. And fuck AI, right? I'm going to leave it at that. I have no interest in AI taking over art. Support real art.